on this computer. Okay, doke. Welcome along, guys. So let me go ahead and share my screen so you can see my slides. If you can see my slides, give me a thumbs up. Good. Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to be a great leader in network marketing. Now, actually, this training was inspired by a book, Freakishly Effective Leadership for Network Marketers by Ray Higdon. As you know, Ray Higdon is one of my mentors. I learn a lot from him. I follow him a lot, and he just released this amazing book. So I read it like literally in 2 evenings. And basically what I've learned from that book, I've put it onto these slides today. So hopefully you guys will share something, learn something that is from that too. And maybe that will inspire you to actually get the book and read the book as well. Cool. Okay, so first of all, what's the role of the leader? And as Ray shares, and it's actually was said by Vern Harnish, is that the role of the leader is to make things easy. So that's the main role of a leader. So as a leader, you should always be asking yourself, is what I'm doing making things easier or harder, right? Because very often, sometimes as leaders, we become a bit too clever for our own good. And we start overcomplicating things in our business where it actually makes it harder for somebody to succeed than not, if you know what I mean. So always think to yourself, how can I make this easier? How can I make this simpler? How can I make this more understandable for every single person that might take a look at my business, that might join my business, right? And we'll talk more about, duplication and simplicity as we're going along through this training today. But that's sort of the theme that you will be hearing throughout this training. Okay, so a couple of do's and don'ts for leaders. So number one, obviously, do strive to make things easy. So whether it's, products, whether it's business plan, whether it's, recruiting, whether it's whatever, how can I simplify it? How can I make it easier? How can I make it more doable? How can I make it more duplicatable for my team to do what I'm doing? Because some people have what is called untransferable skills, which means they're getting results, but they're getting results not because of the system they're using, but because of their charisma, or because of their personality, or because of their, like, some sort of a weird way that they worked out. And the problem is that in network marketing, it doesn't matter what works. What matters is what duplicates. So even if something that you do works for you, but if nobody else can do it, it's a problem. It's a problem because you can't have that in your business, right? It has to be duplicatable by other people. Also, as a leader, you shouldn't make it all about you. If your whole business, if your whole team, if your whole culture revolves around you as a leader, again, there's a problem, right? If nothing can happen without you being there, if the whole business is hanging on to you, there's a problem. You don't want to do that. And again, as we're going along through the training, I'll dwell into more of that and explain to you how to tackle this more. Okay. Do what you wish your team was doing. As a leader, it's not about do as I say, not as I do. It is about do as I do, because this business is of duplication. People will do what you do. So do what you want your team to do. If you want your team to recruit more, guess what you need to do? Recruit more and show it to them. If you want your team to sell more, guess what you need to do? Sell more and show them how you're doing it. If you want your team members to use more products, guess what you should do? Use more products and show it to your team. Okay, next, don't rule your team with an iron fist. As you become a leader, as your team starts growing, as you start gaining influence over your team, it is quite easy to go down that route where you become a very authoritative leader. But what you always have to remember that network marketing is a volunteer army. It's a volunteer army. Nobody has been drafted to this business. Nobody is being paid an hourly salary to be part of your team. All of those guys are self-employed, sole traders working for themselves. None of them are working for you. So never forget that. Even though, yes, you are their sponsor, yes, you are their mentor, yes, you are their leader, they don't work for you. You can ask them for things, but you can't demand them for things. you can support them, but you can't tell them what to do, if you know what I mean. So there's a balance there. And also you need to point out your challenges. One of the biggest mistakes you can make as a leader is try to show that you had a smooth journey, that it was easy peasy. That's the worst thing you can do, right? If you come, and you go, hey, look, I don't know what you guys are complaining about. When I started, I recruited every single person that I spoke to. All my friends and family supported me. It was just a nice and dandy, and I just went straight through, all the way to the top level. Boom, Bob's your uncle. Not sure what's the problem with you guys. If you do that, oh my gosh, you're going to turn off a lot of people in your business, right? So even if you're one of those unicorns who had an easy way, if you literally joined your business and you just went whoosh all the way to the top, share something from your past. Share something that, hey guys, yeah, I joined this business and I went, to the top level in 6 months or whatever, but hey, it took me 25 years to build relationships with people in order for this to be possible to happen. Unless I've done that for the last 25 years, 30 years, helping and supporting my friend circle, then they would have never joined my business, etc. You know what I mean? Never make it easy. But if you had challenges, share them, for God's sake. Tell people how you struggled at the beginning. Tell people how your family didn't support you. Tell people how, what other sort of challenges you had, etc. Because those things, you think they're going to reduce your authority. You think they're going to reduce your leadership. No chance. Actually, they're going to increase it, because people go, wow, so that person did have challenges, but they still succeeded. They still kept doing it. They still persevered. Oh my gosh, I need to learn from that. I need to copy this person. You know what I mean? So share your challenges. Don't, hide them. They will help you. That vulnerability, that openness will help you a lot. Okay, next thing I'd like to share with you guys is a Thompson rule. So again, if you follow Ray, you might have heard of this because he shares it quite a lot. Because there's 3 groups of people in network marketing. And for the first 8 years in this business, I did not know that, it caused me a lot of damage in my business. So the first group of people in network marketing is 80% of people. So 80% of people that you will bring into network marketing have a desire level of 0 to 500 pounds a month. Now, you might be thinking, who on earth would join a business and want to make 0 money per month? You'll be surprised. There will be a lot of people who will join your team just to use products, just to be part of this positive club, where everybody's goal-oriented, everybody's motivated, nobody's complaining. It's an amazing environment. A lot of people want to be part of it, right? But they have no desire to go crush it, work really hard, go to the top, hold a massive check on a stage in front of thousands of people, drive in a luxury Mercedes or whatever, right? They just there for the hobby part of it. The second group of people is 15%. And 15% of people that you'll bring into the business, they have a desire level of 2,000 to 3,000 per month, right? So these people will be prepared to work slightly harder because their goals are a little bit higher. They're a little bit more ambitious. So they will be treating this perhaps as a part-time business, as a part-time job. And then finally, you'll have 5%. And 5% of people that you'll bring into network marketing have a desire level of 25,000 pounds or more per month. So these are your top rock stars. These are the people who are very ambitious, who want to go to the very top, etc. Right? First thing to notice, this is a desire level. Because I know some of you are sitting there saying, oh my gosh, so I belong to the 80% because I'm not even making 500 pounds yet. No. This is not actual results. It's a desire level. So just the fact that you are on this webinar on Sunday at 7 o'clock in the evening tells me that you're not in the 80%. Your desire level, you might not yet be making that type of money, but your desire level must be higher just for the fact that you're here. If you were in the 80%, I doubt that you would be on this webinar. I doubt that you would be listening to this information, right? So that's one distinction, right? It's a desire level, not the actual result. So right now you might be making 50 pounds a month, but your desire is to make 25,000 pounds. You just haven't got there yet. You just haven't, achieved that yet. So that's okay too, right? But if you know that, then it changes how you work with your team, because you can't go around this rule. You can't change it, right? Like you might go, well, I'll just get rid of 80% of my team and then I'll just work with it doesn't work that way, right? because then what's remaining out of those people, some people will then fall into the hobby, etc., right? But what you need to understand is how you treat the people, because I didn't know this thing for 8 years. So I would approach somebody in my team who was in the 80%, and I would go, what's the matter with you? Why aren't you selling any products? Why aren't you like recruiting people? Can't you see this opportunity? Are you stupid or something? What's the matter with you, right? And guess what those people would feel? Not really great. You know, they wouldn't feel very awesome, right? They would go, oh my gosh, you know, this guy is nuts, right? Because these people only joined to do this as a hobby, only to use the products. And here you go, this guy is forcing me to go and do more, right? Because I didn't understand that. Because guess what what percentage I'm in, and most of you probably are in, is the 5%. You want to go crush it. You want to make the thousands and you want to travel the world, etc. But the problem with that is that most people who are leaders like that, they think that everybody else is the same, and they're not. Most people out there will not be that type of a person, right? So that's number one. And a good comparison that Ray gives is a gym owner. Imagine if you, got yourself a membership at the gym, and you start going to the gym, and you go there 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, you come on the 4th day, you just do your 10 minutes on a treadmill, and then you go get the banana, whatever, peanut butter shake, that is 15,000 calories, and you're actually gaining weight instead of losing weight at the gym. Imagine if the gym owner went, hey, lift your shirt up. Where's that six-pack? Where's that muscle? Go back on a treadmill. What's the matter with you? Why aren't you flipping tires, and doing all of that? Let me ask you a question. How many times would the gym owner have to say that before you go to another gym? The one time, right? Exactly. One time, right? Because you'd go, oh my gosh, like I thought I can do pretty much whatever. I'm paying my membership every month. Can I not just do whatever I like, right? Am I not good enough to do, just my little bit of exercise here? Then I quit, right? But of course, gym owner would never, ever do that, right? Because for gym owner, ideally, he'd like you not to come to the gym at all and keep paying the membership, right? It's totally awesome for him, right? But a lot of leaders in network marketing are like that. Think about it. Your team member, let's say they're just ordering products for their own personal use. So they're paying their membership every single month, right? Because when they order products, don't you make some money? Yes, you do, right? That's what this business is all about, right? But instead of you saying, hey, thanks for being an awesome customer. Thanks very much for placing orders every single month. Thanks very much for being part of this thing. Here's a thank you note. Here's a kiss, 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 right? You go, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you selling more? Why aren't you recruiting more? And the person is thinking, oh my gosh, that means I'm not good enough to be part of this team. Let me go and spend my money in another company then. Right? Very simple. So you should never do that. Instead, what you want to do is keep everybody long enough around this campfire with the hope that maybe, because guess what? Is there any chance that 80% leader one day could catch fire, could see the 15%ers and the 5%ers crushing it and go, you know what? I need to start doing this more seriously. You know what? I need to go to the next level. Yes, of course there's a chance, right? Even some of you may be on this webinar right now. At some point you were the 80%er, just trying the product, just seeing how it goes, and then you caught fire, right? So think about the same way. You need to create a culture within your team where everybody is welcome, where everybody is accepted, no matter what is their level of desire, what is their ambition. They should all be welcome. Totally fine. Whatever even if they place an order every 3 months, awesome. Every time they place an order, send them a message. Thank them for that. Wish them an awesome day. Make them feel good. You might have seen that quote, people don't care what you've said and done, but they will never forget how you made them feel, right? It's all about that culture. It's all about the feeling. That's why great companies in the world, they create that feeling where you want to be part of that. You want to be part of this club, Okay. Also, as a leader, you want to figure out what makes people tick. So number one, you ask a person, hey, what were the main reasons you decided to join the business? Number two, what do you hope to accomplish in this business? Number three, how can I best help you? Right? Just asking people these questions, you'll start digging deeper. talk less and listen more. I know it's hard. You know, if you like me, oh my gosh, I can't shut up. That's the problem. You know, I just talk, you know, and you have to discipline yourself, you know, because God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. So you listen twice as much as you talk. For a lot of us, didn't work that way. For some reason, something, the wiring got wrong there, you know, and we just talk, right? So ask those questions, dig deeper, find out what is making this person tick. Why are they here? What do they want to achieve? How can I help them, right? And they will give you most of the answers you want to use, you know, what you need. Okay, so leadership value. Number 1, be an example, not just of service. So again, don't become a manager. Don't become a person who just tells people what to do, but doesn't do it themselves. You always want to be an example and help people in your team. Also, there's a such thing as being too much of service, right? Where you are helping too much, and your helping is impeding that person from succeeding. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. Also, you should be available for the right things, because what you need to understand, maybe right now your team is like 5 people, and you go, well, I have no problem chatting to those people, you know, an hour every single day, talking about the cat and talking about the weather and talking about what's happening in their life, how the kids are. Totally cool. You can carry on doing that if you want. But what will you do when you have 50,000 people in your team? Oh, well, then I'm going to just change it. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, changing it a year down the line. When you got your team members used to, you know, 45 minutes conversations every day about their cats and about how the weather is outside and things like that. Then it's going to be really difficult to go, hey, by the way, I can't talk to you anymore. Right? That's not going to go down very well. So you need to learn that as a leader, you're a business person. Your time is money. Literally, your time is money in this business. So you need to treat your time as such, as money, as much more valuable than anything else. You are investing. Every minute that you spend with somebody, you are investing in that person. And is that investment going to give you the ROI, return on investment? If it won't, ask yourself a question, why are you spending the time with that person, right? So be available, but on purpose, right? Whenever my team member writes me, hey, can we jump on a call? First thing I ask most of the time, hey, what is it about? What do you want me to speak to this person about? You know, what's the call about? I need to know, you know, because I can't just be jumping on calls all day long, because I'm building my business. I'm looking for people. I'm recruiting. I'm trying to build a team. You know, I'm not just here as a secretary sitting there waiting for your call all day, right? I'm supporting you, but at the same time, I'm recruiting new people. I'm looking for new customers, right? I don't have time to waste on meaningless conversation. You know what I mean? So it's not to demean your team members or whatever, but it's about being on point. You know, a lot of people are spending, they think they do this business full time, but most of their time is doing figure eights. It's not doing income producing activity. And celebrate activity, not just results. So it's so easy just to get into that mode where you're only celebrating somebody reaching a certain level, or somebody earning a particular income, or somebody getting a car, but you miss out on all the people who are doing the work, but maybe they haven't yet got the results, right? So in our team, we have a culture of, you know, focusing on activity, not on result, but celebrate that activity. You know, if somebody placed their first order, celebrate that. If somebody recruited a first person, celebrate it. If somebody went and sent 20 messages today and told you that, hey, I just sent 20 messages, celebrate that. You know, congratulate them on the team group. Go, hey, this person just joined and straight away reached out to 20 people, 30 people today, right? Doesn't matter that they didn't recruit anybody or didn't sell. They done the activity, right? And you know, as a leader, you need to know one thing, that if you want something done, you have to be willing to give someone else the credit. You know, it's so easy as you're becoming a leader, as your team is growing, as you're achieving more and more, to become very hungry for recognition, very hungry for credit, for people clapping you and saying how wonderful you are, etc. And sometimes that can cause damage in your business, because you start hogging the stage. You start hogging the airtime. right? Because you're not allowing anybody else to speak, because you want to be the trainer, you want to be the presenter, you want to be the leader, you want to be the main guy and main girl or whatever, right? And what happens is that you're not allowing your team members to step up towards the light. You're not allowing them to take the responsibility, them to become leaders, because you're trying to do it all yourself, right? There's this saying which says, if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. That's like the worst saying for network marketing. If you have that saying in your head, you're going to fail in network marketing because you cannot do it yourself in network marketing. You're not going to do the turnover of 50,000 people by yourself. You know what I mean? So if you want something done, be okay to give somebody else the credit. Be okay to give somebody else the limelight. Be okay to promote other people, to talk well about other people, to brag these people up and say how amazing this leader is, and how amazing this leader is, and how amazing speaker this girl is. Have you heard her? And even in front of them, that will make them feel amazing, right? So give other people credit where the credit is due. If they do something, if they, perform something, make sure that you promote them out. Make sure that you let the world know how amazing they are, to put them in the limelight. Don't be just getting all the limelight for yourself. Okay, so duplication as a leader. What you need to understand that sometimes people confuse duplication in terms of between how people are attracted and what you do once you've attracted the people. Because sometimes people go, well, this person is a king of Mozambique. So like they're going to recruit people because they are king of Mozambique. Everybody's going to join them. Like that's not duplicatable. So does that mean you don't recruit the king of Mozambique? I would recruit them, right? Well, you need to understand that it doesn't matter how the lead comes from. If you recruit a doctor and he just goes and starts recruiting loads of people because he's a doctor, it doesn't mean that now everybody else in your team have to become a doctor. What's important is what happens after they have invited the person. So where that lead comes from, it doesn't really matter, but how that lead is being worked, that's what matters. So whether you recruited a cleaner or a doctor or a king of Mozambique, doesn't matter where the person will come from. What's important is that they use the same system. That instead of going, well, let me tell you about this business because I'm an amazing speaker, I'm a PhD. No. They still use the same presentation video. They still use the same training. They still use the same WhatsApp group. They still use the same Facebook group. The tools after the person been introduced should be the same. But how the person is introduced, totally cool. And avoid criticizing other people's methods. Like, for example, in our team, we have a certain system, right? We have certain steps, certain videos, certain scripts that we use to reach out to the person, to send the information, to follow up with them, to close them, and so on and so on and so on, right? But if somebody joins your team and uses other methods and they're getting a result, resist the temptation to criticize them. Resist the temptation to put them down, right? So if somebody in your team comes up with an idea and goes, hey, I'm going to go on, put leaflets out of an airplane, right? Like, I know it's a bit far-fetched, but don't just go automatically, oh, don't do that, that's stupid, right? Say, hey, look, I don't know if that's going to work because I've never done that myself. More than welcome to try that. But also, here's our system. Here's what we do. That's what's been tested, right? So you can still do your thing. You can still try your method, right? I'm not 100% if it's going to work or not, but if it's going to work, awesome, right? If it doesn't, totally cool, because we still have our system that you can stick to and you can get results too, right? Make sense? So don't criticize other people's methods and other people's way of, approaching people or finding people, etc. Okay, getting started process. So how do we as a leader start people properly? So one of the things that, we practice now is onboarding process, right? And I've done it already with a couple of new team members joining the team, some directly who joined me directly, some who joined some of our team members. So we just jump on a freeway call. But we have a great onboarding process where we go through setting the right expectations so that the person is not expecting to be a millionaire tomorrow and, all of that stuff, do nothing, make a lot of money, etc. And then we do like a getting started checklist. So it gives like an instruction for the person how to start doing the business. Because again, very often when somebody gets a job, they get like a proper instruction. They get told what to do. But when somebody joins a business, very often they just get told, well, go and try it, figure it out, right? Not the best approach. So we have an onboarding process. But also, like earlier on when we were asking a person like, what do you want to achieve out of this, etc. One of the good questions to ask a person is also go, hey, all right, so now you're in the team. How do you want to build this thing? How do you want to build this thing? Like before I start teaching you, etc., maybe you already have some ideas of what you would like to do. Bounce them off me. I'll give you some tips. I'll give you some advice. How would you like to build this thing? And they might give you their natural talent. Because, sometimes some people are really good with technology, but not so good face-to-face talking. Other people are really good face-to-face talking, but they're not really good on technology. So if you recruit somebody who's awesome face-to-face, but you go to them like, don't worry about talking to people, just use our social media strategy, just send messages to people, this is the script, then you send the second message, then the third message, then you add them to the group, you've already lost them. Like they don't even know what Facebook is, right? They don't even know what to eat it with, right? And you trying to teach them the thing that is not their natural ability. But that person might be a total game changer in face-to-face. Like they're a rock star. They can have a conversation with anybody, right? So ask them, like, how would you like to build this thing? Where do you see yourself? I mean, you saw the products, you saw the business opportunity, you understand that you need to build a team. How would you like to get started? How would you like to approach it? And if they go, hey, look, I have no ideas, they go, totally awesome. We have a system. Let me tell you about the system that we use. But if that person already has the ideas, you say, awesome, that's great. Let's roll with that first. Let them do what they are naturally good at to begin with, right? And then later you can introduce them to your system. Later you can show them all the other 55 strategies that you have and so on. You know what I mean? Okay. Also, as a leader, you'll come across 4 types of people in your business. The first type of people are people who hit their goals and they share company vision, right? So these people, they hit their goals and they share company vision. So these people are really good people to have in your business, right? Because they're just the right type of person, right? The second type of people is people who don't hit their numbers and do not share company values, right? So they might not be very polite, they might not be very ethical, they might not be many things, right? Plus they don't hit their numbers, right? Third type is people who are not great performance, right? So they don't get really good results, but they do share the company values. So they have the integrity, they are ethical, they do everything how they're supposed to do. It's just they're not getting really great results. And type 4 are people who are producing, but do not share company values. So they're producing, but they're using dodgy strategies, they're using some unethical things and things like that. So type 1, how do you lead type 1? Well, leading type 1 people is simple, right? You do it with love, with appreciation, you're keeping them around the campfire because they're hitting their goals, they share the company values. These are the best people in your business. You want to keep them in your business for the rest of your life, right? You don't want to lose that person. Type 2 people who don't hit their numbers and don't share company values, how do you lead this person? You don't. They need to go. You need to get rid of them, right? In the world of network marketing, you don't fire people, right? You don't sack because you haven't employed them, but you don't have to give these people your time and attention. And if you don't give somebody your time and attention, gradually they'll just disappear anyway from your business, right? But, you may want to, people like that, you may want to not to include them in your Facebook groups, in your WhatsApp groups, and so on. Because if these people are not getting results and they don't share company values, they're going to cause some problems in your Facebook groups. They're going to cause some problems in your WhatsApp groups with negativity, with being rude to other people, and so on. So you want to get rid of these people fast because they're going to spoil, your business. I don't know if you have that thing in English, but in Lithuania, we say that 1 spoon of tar can spoil the whole barrel of honey. I hope that makes any sense. You know, so one bad person can ruin the whole of your business, you know. Type 3 people, people who are not great performance, but they do share company values. So how do you lead these people? You mentor these people and you help them to get better, right? So someone who is not performing at a high level but believes in your organization core values is more important than a producer who doesn't. Very important. So a person who doesn't produce result, but they believe in the company core values, they have integrity, they are ethical, they are more valuable for you than a person who does get results but doesn't share the company values. And then type 4 are people who are producing, but they don't share company values. So what do you do with this person? And this is the toughest situation of all, because that person is producing results, which means they're making you money. And when somebody's making you money, guess what it is very difficult to do? Is to remove them from your business, right? But the problem is that if you hang on to these toxic producers, to these toxic people in your business for too long, you will lose a lot of good people, right? So, you know, if once you've been doing network marketing for a while, you will come across these people. They are selling products, they are sometimes recruiting people, but they're causing a lot of drama in the business. They're causing a lot of, you know, bickering. They're causing a lot of stress. They're causing a lot of, you know, grief. And long term, it's sometimes better to, again, cut them off. You know, maybe, you know, you still work with them. You still have them in the team, but maybe not in a team group. Maybe not on your WhatsApp group. Maybe not on your Facebook group. So they cannot pass on that negativity onto other people. They should work maybe directly with you, you know, because of those reasons. Okay. Next thing, it's important to understand that time is your most valuable asset. Time is your most valuable asset. So one of the things that really is awesome in network marketing is to give people action-based homework, right? Action-based homework, right? So for example, somebody comes to you and says, oh, I'm struggling. I'm having trouble in this business. I'm not getting results, right? First thing you need to do is smoke out whether they're actually willing to do the work. Because very often when they're struggling, when they're not getting results, it's simply because they're not prepared to do the work. So how do you smoke that out? By giving them action-based homework. You go, awesome. I'm more than happy to help you. But the first thing you need to do is go out there and talk to 10 people. Then report back to me when you're done, and then we'll go to the next step. So you give them an action-based homework. Go and show this product to 5 people. Go and share the business with 10 people. And if they don't get back to you, guess what? It's not the skill that is a problem. It's not that they don't know what to do. They're simply not willing to do the work. And they're coming to cry on your shoulder, hoping that maybe you will build the business for them, which you won't. I hope so, that you wouldn't. Okay. But what if people don't get results? What if they aren't getting results? What should you do as a leader? Well, first, you need to manage their expectations. So some people will come to you after 3 days in business and go, this doesn't work for me. You know, or they'll come to you after a month of being in business and they'll go, you know, it's too much problems, it's too many challenges, I quit, right? Because they hoped for some miracles to happen in a month, right? So first of all, you have to manage that expectation and explain, hey, look, this is business. It takes time. You know, somebody who buys a McDonald's franchise for £1 million, they have to wait about 10 years to get their money back, right? So this is also going to take some time. It's not going to take you 10 years, but it's going to take some time for it to start working and giving you, you know, good income, etc. Secondly, you verify to see what is the challenge. So if they're saying to you, look, I'm doing everything by the book, I'm following everything step by step, maybe you need to take a look at their process. You know, in network marketing, one of the best ways you can work is tell, show, try, do. Tell, show, try, do. Which means you tell the person what to do, you show the person what to do, you let them try to do it whilst you watching how they do it, and then they can do it by themselves once they know how to do it. So if you told your team member how to message on Facebook, you show them the exact messages that they need to send, then they try sending them, But they come back to you and go, hey, like, I'm not getting results. I'm not recruiting anybody. Nobody's interested. Then you might want to take a look at their conversations, take a look how they were communicating with people to see where the challenge happens, where the breakdown happens. Because there's a very big chance that somewhere down the line, they skipped a step, or they changed the script, or they did something differently, and that's why it stopped working for them. That's why they stopped getting results. So you want to go back and inspect and find out where the challenge is, where the breakdown happens, right? Because if somebody tells you, hey, I spoke to 60 people today and nobody's interested, or I spoke to 100 people this week and nobody's interested, something is wrong there. Either they're targeting the wrong people, or they're saying the wrong thing, or there's something wrong, because it shouldn't be like that. We can't expect, 100% whatever ratio, but there should be some results. There should be some things happening. So if they're not getting any results, there might be some breakdown. And as a leader, you need to inspect. Say, hey, totally cool. It happens. Let me have a look at your conversations. Let me have a look what you're sending to people. How are you communicating with them, to figure out what's happening? Why are you not getting the result? Okay. And if somebody struggles, usually there's 3 reasons why they struggle. One is they're not willing to do the work, which is simply laziness, right? And I know we don't want to call people lazy, etc. But hey, there's some people who are just not willing to do the work. They expected it to be easy. They expected it, with the lottery mentality that I'll join the business and I'll just get lucky, right? Somehow, right? But as we know, it doesn't work like that. The second reason why they might be struggle is they're apprehensive about doing the action, which is basically fear. So they want to do the work, but they're afraid of reaching out to people. They're afraid of meeting people. They're afraid of messaging people. They're afraid of speaking in front of people. They're afraid of calling people on the phone, etc., etc. So if they have that fear, again, it may prevent them from getting an action, right? So again, you might need to work on that with them before they can get results. Or number 3, they might not be in the business for results. And again, this might shock you, because some people are in the business for the attention, not for the results. And again, over the 8 years in business, I have come across a fair few people like that, who will join a business and they'll go, oh, I've been with 5 different companies, really, they sucked. I didn't really get any support from my sponsors, from my leaders. It was really bad, but I'm hoping this one will be better. I'm hoping, this will be better. And you go, well, I'm a good sponsor. I'm a good leader. I will definitely support you. I will definitely help you. It's going to be awesome, right? So they join your business and they go like, yeah, please teach me. Please support me. And they will spend hours and hours and hours with you, going through trainings, and you teaching them, you motivating them, you're giving them all the information, and they go away, do absolutely nothing. Next week, they're back for the training. They're back with the notebook. They're back with the video camera. Like they're like getting all the information. They're interested, but they're not in this for results. They don't want to make money. They don't want to go sell products. They don't want to go recruit people. They say they are, but they're not. What they are in this business for is attention. They just want your attention. They just want a buddy. They just want a pal in their life. They want to be spending time with you, listening to you, telling you their problems to you, right? But they're not going to do nothing, right? So again, you need to smoke these people out as soon as possible. So if you see that you trained a person once, they went away, did no work. Come back again, you train again, you spend a bunch of time with them, train them again, they go out, do nothing. They come back again, you go, oh, doesn't look like you're in this business for results. Doesn't look like you're doing anything. I'm not going to train you anymore. You need to go away. Speak to 10 people, report back to me once you've done that. If you're not willing to do that, I'm sorry, I haven't got time for you. And I've had people who joined my team who promised mountains, who promised thousands of people in their teams, who said, shared huge goals, of wanting Aston Martins and wanting private yachts and wanting to buy property and things like that. And they've written down their goals and ambitions and everything like, oh my gosh, this person is going to absolutely destroy it and crush it. And then that person goes away and speaks to one person. One person and nobody else. Right? And you go, what the hell did I just spend 5 hours with this person? Training them, teaching them, investing my time and energy. but you don't know that in advance. You won't know that usually in advance until you spend some time with that person. They go away. But you have to catch on to that, because otherwise that person will keep coming back to you. They'll keep sucking your time, sucking the energy out of you, sucking, everything they can out of you, and still not producing anything. So you have to be careful how you manage your time. Okay. And also very important, as a leader, to understand that negative goes up, positive goes down. So you never want to moan with your team members. You're never going to go, oh my gosh, the delivery service is awful, it's horrible, or whatever, this person is such a bad person. You don't want to do that. Because if you start pouring negativity down your team, then they're going to get even more negative, and it's just going to be the end of your business. So if you have a challenge, you don't go on a main group where there's hundreds of people and go, guys, this horrible thing happened to me. What do I do now? You don't do that, because you're going to turn off another 100 people. You go privately to your leader, to your sponsor, and you go, hey, I have this challenge, really sucks. What do I do? And they will be able to help you through it, right? But if you have something positive, like something great happened, something wonderful happened, that's when you go and talk to the whole team. You go, oh my God, guys, this amazing thing just happened. Or they just released this incredible product. I'm so excited, right? That's the stuff you send down your team, and negativity, you speak individually to your leader, right? This way, it's the best way of growing your business and keeping the energy high, the energy positive. Okay. Now I'm going to talk to you about nice leadership. Okay. Are you a nice leader? Are you a nice leader? Right? Some of you will go, oh yes, I'm a nice leader. Trust me, after this slide, you will never want to be a nice leader again. Okay. So what does NICE stand for? NICE stands for nothing inside me cares enough. Nothing inside me cares enough. That's nice. Now you might go, oh my gosh, that's not very nice. Well, the problem is that as a leader, sometimes you want to become their babysitter. Sometimes you want to become their nanny. So you'll go, oh, let me place an order for you. I can see you struggling. Let me place an order for you. Let me register that person for you. Let me do that call for you, right? And you start doing, let me do everything for you. But that is being nice leader. Why? Because what you're saying is, nothing inside me cares enough to give you the tools you need to make it on your own. Nothing inside me cares enough to teach you how to make decisions on your own. Nothing inside me cares enough to turn you into an adult because I enjoy feeling like your parent. Nothing inside me cares enough to cut the umbilical cord to make you independent to run your own business without me, right? Because you want to be nice, because you want to be their mommy, you want to be holding them by the hand, right? But that person will never become a leader then. So remember what we said earlier on? Tell, show, try, do. So instead of, oh, let me do the registration for you. Let me do the order for you. You go, great. You want me to do the registration for you? Let's get on a Zoom. Share your screen. I'll tell you what to do. You do it, right? You want me to help you to place your order? Great. Let's get on a Zoom. Share your screen. I'll tell you what to do, but you do it, right? You want me to do a three-way call with your team member? No problem. But you better be on that call and listen to what I'm telling to your team member. So at least you can learn and one day become independent. So that one day you don't need me to make money in this business. You understand? It's powerful, guys. You see, a major key in network marketing leadership, is to make yourself irrelevant. And for some of you, this will go completely against what you want to be. You want to be the person of persons. You want to be there so everybody is cheering for you and clapping and appreciating how wonderful leader you are. Oh my goodness, right? How could I make myself irrelevant? But that's the secret of duplication, guys. That's the secret of passive income, is making yourself irrelevant. How can I build my business in a way where my leaders don't need me? They don't need to call me. They don't need me at all because they know everything that I know. They use the same tools that I use. They use the same system that I use. I'm irrelevant. I can come there, cheer for them, recognize them, give them some diplomas, give them some little gifts, right? But they don't need me there, right? They don't need me always to be there holding them by the hand, always be on every single call, always be on every single training, right? Because they can deliver their own training. They can deliver their own presentation. They can deliver their own everything. You understand what I'm saying? If you are willing to do that, if you're willing to give away some of that spotlight, some of that honor, some of that recognition, some of those applause, if you're willing to give away some of that, you will become extremely successful. One of the top network marketing leaders said, your goal is to go from the back of the room to the front of the room and again to the back of the room as soon as possible. To go from the back of the room to the front of the room and all the way back to the room as soon as possible. What do I mean by that? When you first come into network marketing, you come to your first presentation, where do you sit? At the front row, ready to learn? Or are you sitting at the back, crossing your arms? What is this scam? What are they going to try to sell me, right? Most of you would have been at the back of the room skeptical, right? But then you warm up, you go, actually, I'm going to join this thing. And then you slightly start moving forward. You start moving forward because you get more and more excited. You start building a team. And before you know it, you're at the front of the room, or maybe even standing at the front of the room with a marker or with a microphone, because now you're the leader, right? But then your goal is to move back to the room as soon as possible, which means you put your people on a stage. You put your people on a spotlight. You develop other people to become leaders, so you can stand at the end of the room now and go, all of this room is my team. And these guys at the stage are my leaders. And they don't even need me. They don't even need me. I'm irrelevant here. Like most of them don't even know who I am, right? Because they're running their own business. They are their own leaders. They don't even need me. You understand the power of that, guys? That's what you want to become. You want to become irrelevant in your team. So develop your leaders, develop your team members, train them, teach them so they understand what they need to understand, so you don't have to be there. Okay, but also there's an overtraining trap. So there's two problems with overtraining. One, there will be people either who do not believe they have what it takes to train others, or simply they don't want to work that hard. So as a leader, as a trainer, you want to plug people into tools as much as possible, right? So for example, I do a Facebook Live every day, but I never tell any of the team members that, hey, you have to start doing Facebook Lives every day. Because most people, remember, 80% of people, they'll go, oh my gosh, this guy's insane. Like, I would never do a Facebook Live every single day. I'm out, right? So yes, I'm doing that, but I'm doing that because I want to do that. Not because it's required as part of the business. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't want to overtrain. In terms of like group training, group Zoom, I do a training like every 2 weeks or something like that, right? Like a big Zoom like this. I don't do a training every single day inside our training group, right? Well, like, oh, let me do another Zoom. Let me do another Zoom. Let me do another massive training, right? Because that's too much. Instead, what you want to do is use third-party tools. So if there is a training by Eric Worre, send your team members to watch that training. If there's a training by Ray Higdon, send your team members to watch that training. If there's a training by Fraser Brooks, send your team members to watch that training. Why? Because they're not going to think, oh, I have to become Fraser Brooks. No, they'll think, well, I'll send my people to Fraser Brooks too. I'll send my people to Eric Worre too. I'll send my people to Ray Higdon too. But if you're the only person who does the training, then they will think, oh my gosh, I have to become like that as well then? I have to train people every day as well then? Oh my God, I can never do that. You understand? So that's number one. Second problem, some of the people will decide to duplicate your actions. So they will start overtraining their teams too. And then they're just basically becoming a role model for overtraining people, right? So as a leader, yes, you want to deliver training once in a while, but most of the training, like we only do 1 monthly training live, right? Where face-to-face, we all meet at one place. We don't do it every other day. We don't do it every single week because that's too much, right? Your team doesn't need that much training, right? So make sure that you stick, again, remember the very, very beginning of this training, make things simple. Simplify it. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay. And don't be scared of the outside training. Don't be scared of getting your people to listen to Eric Worre and to Ray Higdon and Fraser Brooks and a bunch of other network marketing trainers, right? Because that takes pressure off you, right? And yes, some of those people will say different things to what you say, etc. It's fine. Let them make up their mind. Because if you start saying, don't go learn from that person, don't go learning from that person, don't you go listening to that person, guess what they're going to do? They'll do exactly what you're not allowing them to do, but now you're going to lose them from your team. Because they're going to go, well, this person is trying to keep me down. This person is trying to not allow me to grow. I'm going to quit their team. I'm going to go somewhere else because that person is trying to hold me down. Never do that. Like if my team members decide to go to better training than I've been, if they decide to spend 10 times more money than I spend on personal development, I'm just going to cheer for them. Awesome. Keep going. Fantastic. Right? Because that person wants to grow. They want to invest in themselves. I want them in my team. I will support them, encourage them, and whatever. They just like, oh my gosh, just go for it. But if you're in my team, it'll be hard for you to to do more personal development than I do. I do a lot of personal development. I go to a lot of training events. I read a lot of books. I watch a lot of videos because, again, I want to lead from the front. I want to show example, right? But hey, if you're ambitious, if you want to do more personal development than I do and grow yourself faster than I do, rock it out. I will be more than happy to learn from you. Totally cool. I'm not precious about those type of things. And as a leader, you want to use stories. So stories of event attendance. Sally had been with the company for a year without having much success, but within 30 days of attending our company convention, she recruited first 5 people. This is why you need to go to that event. Collect stories. The next time you're at the company conference or at the training event, you should have a pen and a notebook, and write those stories down. Very often when we have a company conference, we have a key speaker, recognition. And usually during recognition, losers go to the toilet. They go grab a cup of coffee. I'm not interested. I didn't win anything. I'm not going on a stage. So there's no point for me to stay here. I better go grab a cup of coffee. I'll go and chat with somebody in a hallway, in a corridor, right? While these people are getting certificates and their car keys and everything, because that doesn't relate to me. Are you kidding me? That's the most important part of the conference. You should be sitting there, and every single person who goes up with a microphone and shares their story, you should be writing those stories down. This lady, Mom 04, became super successful, made $15,000 in 1 month. This lady, that went through childhood abuse and sexual abuse, etc., became super successful. This guy and this lady, blind, became super successful. You're writing these stories down because these stories is going to help you to recruit hundreds and thousands of people, right? Not the training you heard before of the keynote speaker, right? Those stories are the most powerful thing that you can do and get in the national conference. This is why you want to be there, to hear those stories. Because when you hear those stories, your problems will become so small, you're going to feel guilty for, finding excuses, not doing the business. Okay. Use stories to motivate people, to inspire people, etc. So like, for example, in our previous conference, unfortunately, I couldn't attend because of some unforeseen circumstances, but I picked people's brains. I was asking, like, what did you learn from it? What was happening? What did recognition? And somebody told me. They go, look, there was a couple who went up on a stage, achieved high rank within a company, both blind. Oh my God. That was like, I don't know, like you just transferring 50,000 pounds into my bank account. I was like, oh my God, this is gold. Because guess what? Now when I speak to somebody, whether I'm chatting on Facebook or I'm talking face to face, and they go, well, I couldn't do this business. I'd love to make more money, but I can't do this business because my car broke down. And I go, oh yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand. It's a really big difficulty. We did have a couple in our conference who are both blind and achieving huge success. But yeah, probably, a broke down car can't, that's it. Your life is over. You can't succeed. You get it? That person goes, oh my God, like what am I even saying here? Right? So like, listen to these stories of people who had huge challenges, of people who, spent years without success, and then succeeded, who had, traumatic events. Not that it's great that they had those things, but these people who have overcome those big challenges, you can use those stories to dwarf most people's excuses. I can't do this, because I have 3 children. And go, what? Well, let me tell you about this lady who has 5 kids and absolutely crushing in her business, right? And then they just go, oh my gosh, Okay. Also, don't oversell your work ethic. Now, you need to understand, obviously, in this business, you have to work hard, right? If you want to achieve great results, you have to put in the time, you have to work hard. However, you don't need to rub their nose in it every single time. So a really powerful statement is all I did. All I did. Look, I couldn't even pronounce the ingredients in half of our products, but all I did was point people to the company video. Look, I didn't have a lot of time to put in when I first started. All I did was prospect in my spare time, few hours each week instead of watching TV. Look, when I started, I didn't have anything even remotely close to selling skills. All I did was follow the system, and they either liked it and said yes, or they said no. It was that simple. You know what I mean? Again, as a leader, what should you do? Make things simple, right? So don't go, yeah, well, you just need to put in 8 hours a day, over the next 90 days, and then you'll start making money, right? It's totally cool. You just have to stop spending time with your husband, with your kids, quit your job, sell your house, and then just rock and roll. It's totally cool, right? And people will go, oh my gosh, are you insane? I can't do this thing, right? But if you come to them and go, hey, look, all I did is just, send the video to people. Ask, hey, would you be open? Give them an out. Then I send them the video. Then I go, what did you like the best? And then I go, sounds like you're ready to join. That's all I do, right? I'm not a brainiac. I'm not hypnotizing these people. I'm not manipulating them or whatever, right? I'm just following a simple system. If you can copy paste, you can do my business. It's not rocket science, right? That's all I do, right? If that sounds good to you, let me show you how, right? So simplify. Show it that it's simple. Okay, and a couple of leadership habits. Number 1, prospecting quality people for your team. Look for better quality. Very often you'll run into problems in your business when you're aiming for the low-hanging fruit, when you're aiming for easy people. Well, that person will be easy to recruit. Well, if they're easy to recruit, sometimes it's not the right person to recruit. So start aiming higher. Look for better quality people. Not to say that, some people are not good quality people, but you know what I'm talking about. So you want to sometimes aim higher on the socio-economic level, or aim higher on influence level, or aim higher on whatever level, right? So look for quality people, because when you recruit a quality person, it makes your life easier. They've got some skills, they've got some finances, they've got some connections, they've got some, motivation, they've got some confidence, right? So look for better quality people. Number 2, constantly refer to tools and systems and get people to events. As a leader, you should be relentless with using tools. Somebody goes, oh, please, could you do a presentation? Yeah, I have a video for that. Let me play the video for you. Huh? I was at our leader's home 2 days ago, and she goes, hey, can you do a presentation to this person? I go, absolutely. Let me play this video. Right? Because it's a system. Could I have done a presentation? Of course I could have done the presentation with pleasure. But what will she think? She'll think, oh my gosh, this guy, amazing speaker, naturally extroverted, charisma, amazing. Oh my gosh, I could never be like him. But I went, opened the laptop, play, put the computer in front of her, and sat there for 16 minutes. And she went, I love it. So easy, right? Cool, right? Systems, tools. You should not do any talking if you have a video on that topic, right? Try to use as much as you can systems and take people to events. Events. Meetings make money. Meetings make money. Make it your mantra. Meetings make money. How can I get this person to one-to-one meeting with me over a cup of coffee? How can I get this person to my leader's house for a meeting? How can I get this person to a monthly training event? How can I get this person to the national conference? How can I get this person to the global networking forum? How can I get this person to the GoPro in Las Vegas? That's all you should be driven. How can I get these people into the event? How can I get this person to an event? How can I get this person to the event? Because events will change their lives. It will transform their mindset. Get people to those events. Number 3, getting training resources to the team. Again, as a leader, you should be sharing the training resources. You found a great video, share it with your team. You found an awesome audio, share it with your team. You found a great program, share it with your team, right? Get your people exposed to trainings. This is one of the reasons why we started taking books to our trainings. We bought a load of books, 10 books from this leader, 10 books from this trainer, 10 books from this trainer. And when we go to the event, we bring those books. No, they're not free. Team members have to buy them. But we bring them to them, in front of them, so they can go, oh, I'll grab this one. I'll grab that one. I'll grab this one. And they start investing in themselves. They start educating themselves, right? You want to bring training resources to your team. And also as a leader, you have to manage your own expectations. So, you know, it's like a double-edged sword. One, when you recruit a new person, you have to believe that they're going to become the greatest leader ever. They're going to become the greatest performer ever. But you know what you also have to believe? That they're going to quit tomorrow. So believe that they will become the greatest leader ever, and believe that they're also going to quit tomorrow. Because both things can happen. They can either go and become an awesome leader, so you have to believe in that, because if you don't even believe, if you go like everybody's just a waste of time, there is no serious people left on this planet. That's it. There's no more people for network marketing. Then you won't find any, right? So you have to believe that in the potential of that person, but at the same time, you have to prepare yourself for the worst case scenario, for the fact that that person might not even start. Because if I got a pound for every time I got excited about somebody and then they went on to do nothing, I'd be a millionaire by now. I don't know how many people I had who were saying, oh my gosh, I'm going to recruit the whole country of Timbuktu, you know, and I'm going to become a top leader here, and I've got 1 million people here. Right? And then 2 weeks later, they've gone into witness protection program. They're not answering the phone calls. They're not reading the messages. They're not reading emails. They're not attending events. And I'm like, what the heck happened? Like, this person said is going to be the best person in the world, right? Where are they? What's happening, right? So you have to prepare yourself for that. No one, and I repeat, no one has 100% retention. Like, there is no team in which 100% of the downline is doing points. There is no team where there's nobody leaving the team, ever. Like, it doesn't matter what sort of leader you are. Even if you're walking on water, somebody will leave your team. Do you get it? Some of you are good on your Bible, right? Right? You know, the best networker in the world? The best networker in the world was Jesus. He recruited 12 people, and now his downline is millions of people worldwide, right? The guy was the best networker in the world. But guess what? Even Jesus had one who quit, right? So even if Jesus had one who quit, you will have some who quit too, you know? Like, it doesn't matter how great leader you are. You know, some people will quit your team too. So chill out, relax, you know, take some, you know, I don't know, something. Okay, so what can you do? What can you do as a leader? Well, one, focus on breaking your own personal records. So if somebody leaves your team, instead of going, oh my gosh, I'm slitting my wrists, I'm hanging myself, that's the end of the world. No. If somebody quits your team, then this month, this has to be your personal best record of recruiting. You go and recruit another 50 people to compensate for this one person leaving your team. Instead of, this person left my team. No, you go and recruit another 20. And you don't even show a sign of concern. Also, you analyze your garden. Look through your team. Look through your structure. What is happening? Who needs support? Who is hungry? Who is performing? Because sometimes some of your best people not going to be your front line, not gonna be the people who you personally introduced. Sometimes somebody you personally introduced, they're just doing it as a hobby. They introduce somebody who also does this as a hobby. But somewhere 3, 4, 5, 7 levels down, a superstar emerges. Somebody who's hungry, somebody who's going to go and crush it. And sometimes as a leader, you need to be smart and start working with that person directly, right? Start supporting that person because they're hungry, because they want to take the business to the next level. And never, ever, ever, ever bash other people or other companies. Never, ever, ever talk bad behind somebody's back or talk bad about another company. It will always do more damage than good. So do not, if somebody leaves your team, if somebody quits your team and goes to another team or goes to another company, never say a bad thing about that person. Say, look, I respect their decision. I totally understand them. You know, they have their own personal reasons why they decided to do it. Totally awesome. I wish them well. I wish them success. You know, I hope they do tremendously well, wherever they go. Because one, if you say bad things about somebody else behind their back to somebody else, so let's say I'm talking with you and you're saying bad things about somebody else, guess what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, what do they say about me when I'm not around? Right? And that's one. Number two, that person might come back to your team because they might go to somewhere else and realize that the grass is not greener, and they might come back to your team. But if you say bad things about them behind their back, guess what? They're not coming back to your team. They might come back to the company, but they're not going to come back to your team because they go, well, that person, they said all of this rubbish about me, definitely not working with them again, right? So chill out, take a breath, and never talk back. And same way about other companies. You might know other companies that have inferior products, they have inferior marketing plans, they have all sorts of other things. Doesn't matter. You know, whenever somebody, you know, I approach somebody or they approach me or they've been with network marketing before, and I ask them, what company have you been? Doesn't matter what company they say. If I know that company and I know it's a proper network marketing company, not some Ponzi scam, right? I'll go, awesome, a fantastic company. I know it. How you doing? You know, how's it going, right? Like I'll never go, oh, you know, my one is better, your one is crap, you know, like you have this blah, 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 and I have this blah, 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 you know. Never do that. Because it's like, imagine if I came to your home and imagine if you have a child and I went, well, my one is prettier than yours. How would you feel? Would you go, well, let me abandon my one and let me have yours? No, you won't. You're going to go, get out of here, you know, you so-and-so, right? Because you love your kid, right? So if somebody attacks your kid, or if somebody attacks your business, or if somebody attacks your church, you try to protect it. Even if you hate the damn thing, you're going to try to protect it just to, because they started attacking you, right? So always go, hey, awesome company. You know, I know a lot of people who succeeded in that. How are you doing? Right? And number four, like I said, be big and wish well to everybody. Like, hey, look, you know, like one of my leaders, one of the big leaders in my team quit our business some time ago, right? And she was nice enough to call me. She and her husband gave me a call, you know. They called me and they said, look, you know, we've got a difficult thing to tell you. You know, we decided to go to this other company, you know, do this other business, etc. And I said, hey, look, you know, I totally understand. I appreciate you calling me. I wish you, you know, the best of success and keep me up to date with your successes. You know, I hope it works out well to you, right? Now, did I like them leaving my team? Of course not. But can I do something about it? No, because like we said earlier on, it's a volunteer army. I'm not employing them. I'm not paying their salary. I don't own that person to go, no, you're not allowed to leave. Oh, you're an idiot. Right? No. And I'll keep good relationship with that person because you never know. I hope they will become super successful with the other business and they'll never need to come back to my company. But if they do, they know that the doors is open. They know that they're more than welcome. They know that we're always here to support them, right? And welcome them. That's being big. That's being grown-up person. And also, know the distinction between single person and the whole team. You know, I often hear people saying things like, oh, my team members are lazy. My team is not doing anything. You know, my team is so-and-so. Really? Is your whole team not doing nothing? well, you know, these few people are ordering products, but you know, no, that means somebody's doing something. You should be thanking them. You should be working with that person, right? So never generalize that, oh, everybody knows about my business, or nobody in my village are interested, or no, there's always exceptions. So never generalize, right? Maybe some people in your team are not doing anything. Cool, replace them. Go and look for more people, right? But don't generalize that my whole team is not doing anything. Okay, guys. So that's it for today's